Hi everyone! Sorry I haven't been uploading recently. I didn't even get to do a Halloween video, and I really planned to. I even recorded the whole introduction for it. I just couldn't find time to actually do it before Halloween. Obviously I could have been an absolute idiot, but I still wanted to get the video out, so I could have done it early November. Maybe today. But I already had plans for today. This video. The Day of the Dead, which is what it's called in English, is a Mexican holiday which celebrates people who passed away. And I want to talk about one movie based on this holiday, which has since been forgotten, as I said. So, as I said, it's been a while since I actually sat down to record a comprehensive video, never mind a while I don't remember, so excuse me if I get a little, rusty. I feel a little rusty. Now, The Book of Life is a movie in which and the set on the Day of the Dead, which bullfighter and it's a bit weird. Now, so the production of this movie. Oh, actually, by the way, this movie was mostly based on originality. This movie was not based on a book or anything. I think we hit the nail as, we had, five movies in a row which were based on books, and now we have 3 movies in a row that were mostly original ideas. So, so maybe this whole thing was wrong. In fact, I don't know why, but I guess. Now, Book of Life apparently first began developing 14 years before its release. That's a pretty long time. The opportunity to have it as a feature. Several of the film's stories ideas originated in the student film Carmelo, and him and his wife created the series El Tigre, The Adventures of Manny Rivera, a show which didn't actually go down well on Nickelodeon because it didn't star a yellow sponge, but it was still a good move, I guess. So after that, they see. I'm a little rusty here. I hope I don't stumble over my words too much. But so after that, it became viable to make it, and it was originally optioned by DreamWorks in 2007, which would have been a little strange if DreamWorks made this movie and then Pixar created Coco. Then I actually kind of want to see the alternate universe, because it would have been the other way around to what is usually set. But then again, in this reality, it would be much longer gap, so it wouldn't have the same effect, but it'll still be there. It would still be there, but nevertheless, it never went beyond development because of creative differences. I have no idea what that means. But it's interesting. So the movie was redirected to 20th Century Fox Animation, which doesn't super exist, but Real Effects, which is a very small animation studio, which does still exist today, but only made 2 cinematic movies in the process of this. This and another movie set in November, about a November holiday. Yeah, yes, that one. The movie which is recently being talked about a whole lot because of a certain crab, mainly, but also because of... But it's a funny meme movie. This movie was made by the same studio that made Freebirds. I haven't seen Freebirds, but it's kind of weird. These 2 movies are completely and utterly different, at least I'm 90% sure they are, but... Okay, never mind, this is irrelevant to the production entirely. But anyway, they were eventually moved. The release date was October 10th, 2014, but this was eventually moved by a week and was announced to the people who were starring in the film. They prevented... Gutierrez said, it's well known Gutierrez said, did not permit his animation team to go on any research trips to Mexico. Because, well, that would show only touristy aspects of a movie. They should ask him if they have any questions about how to display it. Now, yeah, this movie, I really loved it as a kid, and I hope I still do, because this movie is probably the most well-liked movie in this series so far. The closest that comes, really, is Rise, which also got a lot of critical success, but it's not like it got any recognition. This movie at least got a Golden Globe nomination. There's a lot to say about this movie. So, I'm just gonna watch it and review it right now. Wow, this movie is amazing. This movie is very smart, very intelligent, and way better than people give it credit for. And let's just talk about what I mean. Why, in my opinion, why it's so good. So, this movie is, well, great. But why? Well, it's got a lot to say, which doesn't really need to be said, but let's just go. So the story is simple. Well, it's kind of simple, kind of not. Really, just 2 spirits, and it sounds ridiculous, 2 spirits decide to have a bet, and whoever wins the bet gets the other one's realm, and yeah, and the bet is which boy a particular girl will marry. Yeah, that's it. And they make the bet when they're kids. I know what you're thinking. What if she doesn't marry either of them? Yeah, I don't know. Seriously. I don't know what'll happen. But, anyway. Both characters are just. But, anyway, like. Now, so, what happens? So, as the movie progresses and this gets more apparent, it gets more chaotic, and like, Nolo is given Medal of Everlasting Life, and all the characters try to be good. So, let's talk about the characters, which is probably my favorite thing to talk about in these movies. Now, first of all, this movie, it kind of has a bit too many characters. I mean, there are so many characters in this movie that it isn't perfect. But anyway, let's just talk about this, shall we? So first of all, we've got the protagonist, Manolo, who is honestly not the most interesting protagonist in the world. I mean, he could certainly be better, but he has enough. But he's still very likable, still very charismatic, and he still works for the story. The other characters, though, are where this really shines. First of all, there's Maria, who is a great woman who really helps the people out, and she has really strong views, and I like her development throughout the story. But I think Joaquin's probably my favourite character. He definitely has the most well-defined arc, realising not only that violence isn't always the answer, but also you have to be also, as it says before, you have to be selfless to be a true hero. It's a classic arc, but it's kind of different here. It's not given to the main character, which is interesting. Joaquin is the third main character, or second, I don't know. But he's still great. He's not likable at the beginning. He's far from it. But it's clear that he wasn't always this way. In that, probably him fighting his father and all of this, like, the Medal of Everlasting Life, which made him a great fighter, because he was immortal. The two best characters in the movie are undoubtedly the two spirits, Xibalba and La Muerte. La Muerte is supposed to be like God, and Xibalba is supposed to be the devil. They're like anagrams of those, but they're not. They're more complicated than that. La Muerte can be stuck up. She can be she can get really angry, and honestly, while she's nice, she's not really that fair. I think she's funny, and I think her interactions with Xibalba are really funny too. You could consider Xibalba the main villain, and honestly, he is the reason for the most conflict within the story, but I honestly still wouldn't wouldn't really call him the main villain. The main villain is someone else because he's part of the main conflict, despite not really being in the movie. So basically, so I don't know, but Zabalba, well, he doesn't. Well, he's annoying, obviously. He's supposed to be, but villainous is just, yeah. I feel like, while yes, this movie is a love triangle, it is probably one of the best love triangles I've ever seen. I'm not joking when I say this. This is a very different kind of love triangle. A love triangle with its own twist. Of like, you always do this thing with like shipping, right? Where you're emotionally invested and like, imagine if you could put a bet on who your favorite character would end up with in a love triangle. That's basically what this movie is. These two characters always seem like obsessed fans who like love this pair and like love each man and see what pair they get. I mean, both are interesting enough, but who knows what will happen. Now, issues aside, I don't. Now, are there super issues aside? I don't know. But what I do want to know is So this is basically a fandom and fandom arguments. And I think it's a really smart way to play it. It means for obvious differences with like parodies of like, we're fighting over who's gonna get together. It's a really interesting dynamic for it to happen. And obviously ends up being Manolo because he was the protagonist. But I'm pretty sure if this was an actual show, Rhea McQueen will be out there. But I really like this love triangle. It is, yeah, again, it's the best. They make it the main part of the story, and it works. They don't throw it in your face. No one gets a character assassination. It's not just about the rivalry. The woman's not sidelined. Maria is fully in the story, fully integrated, and none of them get character assassinated. It's not like Joaquin turns out to be the villain in the end just so she will obviously choose Manolo. No, Joaquin learns at the end that he doesn't deserve Maria because of how selfish he can be. And he has to be more selfless. He has to be better. I love this. I love this kind of love triangle. I've heard people just say with this movie that, oh, so this is Coco but with a love... No! Shut the hell up. This is a love triangle done spectacularly well. And it doesn't even end in polyamory. But what else is good about... So this movie has an interesting story in general. I love the animation. I love the world it builds. The world building in this movie is fantastic. I love the journey throughout the land of the remembered and the land of forgotten. I love all visions of the movie. I do like how Manolo's arc is like conquering being himself, finally being able to be himself. Because it does seem like he's pretending that he's gonna be a bullfighter the entire movie, but obviously he doesn't want that. And him conquering his biggest fear is something that makes sense. Maybe it was that test all along. Now, him being into music while his family's annoyed was kind of a tight throat, but I don't mind how he did it. Now, Carlos is an annoying father, but his mini redemption is kind of makes sense, but is also kind of stupid. But honestly, Maria's father is much worse, and I feel like the movie doesn't even go into that as much, because he is awful, just trying to force Maria to marry Joaquin. Like, even when Joaquin says to lay off when Manolo dies, he says no. He says he basically just keeps forcing it on her. I know he wants to protect the town, but it seems like he doesn't care about his daughter at all and her feelings, and he just loves Joaquin so much. I don't think he's a good father whatsoever. He just doesn't value his daughter at all, or at least he doesn't look like it. Now, so he's kind of an issue with the movie because he's genuinely annoying, and so are his stupid band members. What is their point in the movie? Why are they so terrible? Oh, okay, they're not actually in the movie that much, but still, a lot. You're just going, hey, wait, how many characters are in this fucking movie? Yeah, we're not done. We have Manolo's deceased family members. They're okay. They serve their purpose. They do enough. There is also there's also the candle maker, who is again okay. He's funny. He has a great design. Not really that much of a character beyond that. And then there's Chacal, who is kind of the main villain, kind of not, because he's not really in the movie, but he wants power. He just raids cities for fun. It's implied that he just does it because, the medal, he wants the medal, so he's looking for the medal everywhere. Then again, he was clearly like this before he had the medal, so it's a bit confusing. How old even is he? Never mind. He is, medal. I don't know what to say. This movie, in general, is still great. These flaws don't take away from what is ultimately a fantastic movie. The characters are good, mostly great to be honest. The story is very unique and better than what I've seen before. And the flaws aren't big enough to take away from the movie. The story is so unique. This movie definitely doesn't deserve to be forgotten. It is truly the best movie I have covered in this series so far. Was I expecting to say that? Kind of. But I don't care really. I don't. So yeah, it turns out this movie is pretty great. Also, I just realized that this video is definitely has came out after the actual Day of the Dead. Great. The special thing is over. I'm not scrapping it though. I'm not. I already scrapped the Halloween video. I'm not scrapping this big surprise video as well. Okay? So, now, what is it gonna be? So, now, after that, we have to look. So, in this Why Does No One Remember, we do a review of a movie, see like the qualities, any reason to forget, and then or now we look at the reception of a movie. How was it like? What was it received? And see if it holds up. So yeah, this movie was very well received in both places. In the box office, while it grossed $50.2 million in North America, it had a worldwide total of $100 million, so made double its budget. It was very popular in stuff in places like Mexico and Brazil, which being number 2 in Mexico, which was their intent. So it was quite successful financially. Critically, it was even more successful, with the highest score on Rotten Tomatoes that we've had, and even other sites gave it quite a high score, with the reviews being mostly all positive. I mean, very positive. The movie was very successful. In addition to that, it also won an Annie Award in character design in an animated feature production. Rightfully so as well. Whether it's multiple animators won that, as well as being nominated for many other awards, including a nomination for the for the big animated Oscars, the Golden Globes. Globes getting nominated for that. I mean, yeah, it was nominated for so many awards that you struggle to think. So by all accounts, this was quite a successful movie. Like, quite. So what happened? Before we get to that, obviously, I think we should give a note to the other material this was put out by this, like I usually do, which doesn't really exist. Like, it technically doesn't really exist, but it's still worth noting that this movie was going to have sequels, as in Gutierrez always imagined the movie as a trilogy. The first movie to be about Manolo, the second about Joaquin, and the third one about Maria. This, in my opinion, I would be all for. I think it's a great idea to just like shift it so each main character gets their own chance in the spotlight. I think it's an interesting idea to do. Unfortunately, it never came to be. As in 2019, while in 2017, they revealed that the development on the sequel had begun. On June 2019, Gutierrez clarified on Twitter that there are no plans for a sequel. This is disappointing to me, but also understandable. Again, But I really hope it will come one day. I really hope. So why has this movie been since forgotten from time? Well, it's time we finally address the elephant in the room. Well, that's kind of a dumb statement, as I've already made 2 references to it in this video, but we're going to address it in full force here, okay? In 2017, Pixar released the movie Coco. This movie has a lot of similarities to The Book of Life. Not only do they both have a Mexican setting, but they also Mexican setting and are set around the Day of the Dead. They also both feature their protagonist being fascinated with music, and their family being disapproving of it. For whatever reason. But they also feature their protagonist going to the land of the dead because of their family. Both movies have themes of family, but this isn't the main theme of Book of Life like it is Coco. You might want to hear which movie do I think is better, and after watching both close together, yes, I did watch Coco. Not for this video, but for another video coming up. It's not that needed. I honestly prefer the Book of Life. Okay, I get it. It is without a doubt that Coco is the more well-liked movie. But the Book of Life is a much smarter, much more somber, great affair. And also, Coco's opening, it isn't that strong, I'm sorry. It isn't. The music is also honestly better in the Book of Life, I have to be honest. Book of Life is more smart with its animation too, and it has a much way better design choice and art style. Obviously Coco is more emotional, and overall it is more effective. I just think that the Book of Life is a much more smarter, more effective movie. But yeah, they're both great movies, and Coco was well received, way more than the Book of Life, way more. So what was the issue, really? So was this movie forgotten just because of Coco became more well received, much more well liked movie very quickly, and it being very similar? Did Coco take away all the fun and take away the masterpiece which is this movie? Well, maybe. To be honest, I think Vance is mostly yes, but not completely. I think real effects is fall contributes a little bit to that too. I don't really think the reason as a whole is why we never got Book of Life 2 is just it. I think it's also partly because of the Disney-Fox merger. I'm not joking. I think that's one of the main reasons why we never got a sequel. Real Effects was not Fox for very long. Real Effects had a ton of movies planned, but they only made one after this. They still exist today and have still a movie planned, don't get me wrong, but is that gonna happen? I don't know, honestly. I do wonder. how this will happen, because I love this movie more than any other movie in this series. I hope to see it again in any form. So, yeah, that's it. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and press subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy it, please give a dislike and a hate comment, because we always love to keep the algorithm happy. Also, please tell me what you think of me using background music now. I give credit to the music I used, which was back to old Mexico, but I got it from my editor, so it might be stock, but I don't know. I just want to give credit to this, be safe. So, but tell me what you think, because I want to know if I can keep using it, because the background noise was really annoying me while editing. But anyway, I'll see you in my next video, which will be a good one. I can feel it. And there won't be this big break between videos again, okay? There won't be. I'll see you later.